Good morning. Welcome back to Divinity 648. Today is April 1st, 2022. It is 8:44 in the morning. So, the energy for today is focused on freeing yourself from limitations. It's focused on remaining free from limitations that you've already been able to successfully release yourself from. The energy that was dominant was from Kali Ma, Kali, who is pushing liberation through, helping people out of situations that were limiting them or obstructing them from moving forward in their life. Any type of oppression. This is the type of energy that is coming through specifically for those types of circumstances or individuals. So, affirmations that can support the energy coming through as of now would be I have released myself from all obstacles and burdens. I am free in my own right to conduct myself how I choose to. Um, any type of affirmation would be successful for you as long as you keep in mind that the energy is focused on being liberated. The energy is focused on releasing self from anything that was holding you down in general. So, um, I am free from limits on thoughts or behaviors. I am free from past tendencies, addictions, and codependent relations. I am free from allowing other people's opinions, thoughts, and desires to run and control my life. I am free from feeling that I am stuck in any type of dynamic that I am no longer in alignment with. The colors that kept coming through for me today was purple, amber, and the red. The red was still there. So this energy was definitely creeping in from yesterday, but it's more dominant today and it's going to continue. This energy is not going to stop. It's just going to increase with time up until the next equinox season. So the numbers that were significant was 25, 7, 37, and any type of number combination that leads up to those numbers. So you want to be mindful of that too. I am still seeing the numbers reflected, meaning they're coming in reversed or upside down or just the mirrored effect, which means spirit is definitely hands on, like all hands on deck at this point. A lot of energy is coming through to pick those chosen ones up. Yesterday, again, the number 7 is huge right now. This morning, very, very, very early this morning, I was listening to someone's live and they were talking about being chosen and being a twin flame and all this otherness. And the person actually came right out and made some sense and was like, you can have a soulmate and that soulmate not be your twin flame. Um, and I thought that was so hysterical for me because I've been saying that right along. There's so many different layers, levels, and aspects to everything going on. And we've lived so many different lives and had so many different soulmates, so many different partners that we tend to confuse past life connections, soulmates, with actual twin flame, high vibrational energy. And again, even at that, that twin flame energy does not mean that that's your person that you're stuck with for the rest of your life and all lives coming forward. Anybody could be a twin flame to you if they put in the work and they match your vibration. Otherwise, then the situation becomes karmic. So that type of energy is coming through where people are detaching themselves from individuals who are not in alignment with who they are and where they want to be in their life and on their path. So if you've been in a dynamic with someone that you felt was a soulmate, which very well could have been a soulmate, you are making that head over heart decision to no longer follow your heart, but to be more logical in the way that you're approaching all of your choices moving forward, right? You're in that position, that chess move where you're kind of like, you know what? I was protecting this connection because I know what this connection is, but I'm done trying. and I'm okay with allowing for new to come in. I'm okay with allowing myself to connect with a different flame that could possibly be more in alignment with where I want to be or how high I want to vibrate. Because that's what the bottom line is with this liberation energy. It's pushing you to stop holding yourself back. Think about it as a twin flame aspect. And this isn't just for love relationships, this is all areas of your life. You are a flame, a vertical flame. It looks just like the northern lights, but you are a vertical flame. Your twin flame or the other flame you choose to interact with is a vertical flame. You guys are side by side. When one flame launches into the other or bounces off the other, it feeds the other and it accepts energy from the other just the same. It's that give and take, healthy, balanced dynamic. When one flame is no longer capable of raising their vibration or growing, and the other flame continues to grow and raise their vibration, that other flame is no longer a beneficial aspect of that union, because instead of it growing with the other flame and matching the vibration and doing that healthy exchange of give and take with the energy that flames give off to each other, that warmth, right, that radiant energy, when you're diminishing or depleting in energy, bouncing off of your twin flame or your flame counterpart, feeds you, it recharges you, so that way you can raise your vibration and increase your flame, you can grow. So when one is no longer doing that give and take, or no longer putting in because they're distracted elsewhere, it becomes a burden to the other flame, because the other flame is not getting what it's giving and it's becoming stagnant. And that, again, is in all aspects of our lives. It's not just romance. I posted something a while ago talking about alchemy, marriages that are associated with alchemy, and how the man strives to kind of just release himself from the selfishness, right? It's that, let me read it, because explaining it is just never going to make sense. So the alchemical marriage looks spectacular and spiritual. On a cellular level, it is a metaphysical marriage because it opposes the trials of the physical man that aspire to selfishness, addiction, and promiscuity. In the highest manifestation in spiritual determination, alchemical marriage is an expression of true will, of being for light despite darkness, for unification despite separation, for eternity despite expiry, for reality despite the illusions, for order despite the chaos, because it is divine in front of humanity. Only a man or woman who possesses two things can enter an alchemical marriage: a spiritual mission and the awareness of his being. And then there's like this beautiful image. And I do have this, I did publish this publicly on March 20th. So it is on my profile on Facebook. And you can kind of see the way that they depict it in the art that comes with the article that I shared. And this came from ancient and sovereign Egyptian rite of Mizraim and Memphis page. And I love that. I love that. And that is what a divine feminine, divine masculine, and being in union with a divine feminine or masculine is about. People come to me and they're like, oh, I know he's this, or I know she's that, definitely this, but you're not. So you have to put in some work. You don't have to be a divine feminine um, to be in union with the divine masculine. You just have to get your shit together. Be aware of spirituality. Be aware of alchemy. Be aware of karmic law. Understand the elements of the universe, and try to understand cosmic consciousness. Be supportive, right? Be that flame that doesn't get stuck, that doesn't become the burden in the dynamic, right? Because only a man or woman who possesses two things can enter an alchemical marriage, and that is a spiritual mission and the awareness of his being. Doesn't say you have to be a divine being to be in that union. You just have to have those two things. How do you have a spiritual mission? Tap into your ancestry. Learn your ancestry. understand that there's way more. And I understand not everybody comes from certain lineages, has certain ancestry within them that allows for them to tap into certain dimensions and realms and obtain certain knowledges and comprehension, right? You can study the shit out of cosmic consciousness, but it will never flow through you the way that it would flow through a high vibrational, right? You can study the shit out of alchemy, but it would never flow in you and through you and radiate from you the way that it would a high vibrational divinity. Does that make sense? So it's like being free to express yourself without judgment is another good affirmation. I am free to express myself without judgment. I am free to love without boundaries and limitations. I am free to openly express my true divinity and not give a shit what anybody has to say about it, right? So key things is understanding that there's really a lot more to life than just walking around and being focused on who's your lover taken into consideration, where's your man, or let me get these stocks and let me buy this Bitcoin. There's so much more to life than what goes on in the physical realm. The physical realm is literally just an effect of everything going on in all other realms and dimensions. You know, um, again, I went to a reader once recently. I called somebody all the way out in, I think this person was out in Chicago. I think, no, California, Oakland, California. I got driven to get a reading from her. And she was like, you focus way too much on karma, that disappointed me because she's really a decent reader and she comes from a higher vibration, but she's limiting herself, right? Because if she went through that veil and expressed her, or maybe that is her capacity and that is her limit, I don't know, I didn't read her, but you can never focus too much on karma. Karma is the force that makes things go round. It is what goes round. It's like saying you focus way too much on your pool's filter. So you stop focusing on the pool's filter and then you got all the bacteria and the funky shit going on in your swimming pool. Don't ever let somebody tell you you focus way too much on karma. If they're worried about you focusing on karma, they need to stop focusing on their own karma. They don't understand karma. Karma legit is the key essential force to get through life without the toxicity and the fuckery. Because when you watch your karma, you become more conscious of other people's karma. You start watching other people's actions and the reactions that come from their actions or lack of actions. Karma is key to everything, especially if you're talking about ancient Egyptian knowledge, ancient Egyptian history, and facing your maker in the underworld. What do you think is weighed on those scales, right? Think about it. Water holds energy. You are at least 69%. You should never be lower than 69% water. I was told 70% is the preferred amount, but you should never be lower than 69% water. Water holds memory no matter what. No matter how long it's been, how many things it's been through, it collects and holds memory from everything that it has touched, experienced, gone through, driven through, whatever. Water holds memory. Your blood has water. Your brain has water. Your soul uses water as a conductor, because water is a conductor for energy and energy moves around. Your chakras and your aura has water in it. Your chakras utilize the memory of the water to whatever. I'm not even going to keep going, but water is very significant in the human body, in the spiritual body, and in the astral plane. Water is dominant. So just think about that for a minute. Let that sit in for a minute. If water holds memory, your body's dominant memory, karma flows through your body. Karma flows all around you. It's a weightless and limitless mass of energy that always comes back around because it orbits around us. And when people cross paths with us, they take a chunk of our energy. We get a chunk of their energy. It becomes new energy for the both of us. And the karma is there for the both of us. Okay. So past lives, your soul hits water every time it moves throughout your body. So if you're not drinking water, or you're surrounding yourself with toxicity, your soul is going to become toxic. You are a product of your environment if you are using your free will to indulge in that type of environment. So for people to sit here and be like, I'm a twin flame, I'm with my soulmate, I have my divine counterpart, I'm the true divine feminine, you really need to understand how alchemal marriage relates to what it means to be a divine feminine in a union with a divine masculine. That's just some knowledge to hip you, because I know one person specifically who loves to listen to my shit, never clicks likes, never acknowledges the fact that they learned from me, but is really quick to go and repeat my stuff as if it's their own truth. I'm okay with you sharing my knowledge. I'm a little salty that you don't give credit where it's due, but that's okay too. But if you're going to preach about it, make sure you're preaching facts. And if you're going to walk around pretending to be something that you're not, make sure you understand what it takes to be what you claim to be. So when the right person approaches you and asks you the appropriate questions, you know how to respond correctly, right? Right? So, liberation, being free, taking control of your life, taking control, showing up for yourself, not being dependent on anybody else to show up for you, not allowing the way that you feel for an individual to impact the way that you make your decisions for yourself in your life throughout your life, right? That universe, that Kali Ma energy is pushing around, right? I said it this like 2 years ago. I started talking about how Kali Ma came through with Oya, and they painted everybody's masks gray and they put that force through. That all never goes away. It really doesn't. I thought it would fade out by now, but it hasn't. People are still doing their dirt, thinking they're untouchable and they'll never be seen. If you've ever been to the casino or a kid's like Dave and Buster's, they've got these round games and it pushes coins to the bottom, right? So the goal is to put coins in and kind of get that stack to fall off the edge. That's karma. Karma builds up in front of the rotation or the energy that pushes karma around, that force. And with time, it slowly gets closer to the edge. And if somebody's been pushing those buttons, let me do more, let me do more, let me do more, let me throw in more coins. When it comes back around, or it pushes some more, it's going to be a huge stack falling down, but it's not going to be coins raining all over you. It's your karma. You want to keep that positive. You want to keep that clean. You want to keep that good, because when it does come back around, you're going to have nothing but good karma. You're going to be solid. You're going to be taken care of. Those who have oppressed you and held you down and shitted on you and disrespected you and violated your rights and did anything and everything possible to hold you back and keep you stagnant. Kind of like that song from Ariana Grande, Fuck a Fake Smile at this point, right? Like, I'm over this. I can't wait to see those coins fall off that edge and see what actually happens to you when your karma comes to you. That energy is here and it's not going anywhere. So be mindful of that. It's okay to fail. Failure is necessary for success. You failed here, great. That's notches on your belt. That's still success. You still showed up. You showed up for yourself. You gave it everything you could. You realized what your limits were. It should be motivation for you to go take the next necessary steps, so that way those limits are no longer your limits. And you should be using your karmic cycles and lessons and the things you've experienced to propel you forward, so that way you can remove those limits from other individuals, because that is what it means to be a light worker in the making. It's realizing what you're going through and how you can utilize it to not just be beneficial for self, but beneficial for all of those around you. That is what a light worker does. A light worker absorbs the karmic flow of all around them, conquers that, no matter how long it takes or how hard it is, and radiates true light in all issues, in all areas, with all people who are going through similar situations, who aren't capable of pulling themselves through because they're not a light worker, you know? And it's not that it frustrates me that basic bitches are walking around saying, I'm a light worker in the making. Number one, light worker in the making, that starts at birth. Either you are or you're not a light worker. There is no I'm a light worker in the making. Either you are or you're not. You can be unfolding, you could be ascending, but you're not being made. That happens at birth. Your soul is what your soul is. And if your soul's not there yet, maybe next lifetime. Or maybe you need to be focused on your karma, your family's karma, your ancestors' karma, and tapping into ancestry so you can clean the karma so that way in the next life or for the future generations to come, you can actually have light workers be birthed into your generational family. Break some curses. Address the shit. So that's it for today. Liberation. The energy that is coming through and settling down is the energy of feeling liberated. Speak your truth. Be respectful. Understand the things that you are saying to people. Understand the way that you are coming off and projecting yourself. And don't walk around saying that you're something that you're not, because your karma is going to come back around. Okay? That's like, I don't know how else to explain it. I don't know how else to explain it. It's the best feeling though. It really is. It's very liberating to um, see the divine actually show up for you, to see the divine actually, yesterday I was like, I need to recharge. I need to cleanse my energy. I need to actually feel it go through me. And I was sitting on the couch and it literally felt like, like when you're going up some hills, like over here in the city I am in, we have a series of hills. And if you go up them fast enough, you get like that tickle in your abdomen, right? Like almost on a roller coaster. So sitting on the couch, asking for a cleansing, that's that feeling that came through. Every time that massive energy whips through my body to uplift me, to cleanse me, to clear me, to release me, to liberate me, it feels like that. It feels like you're going over a massive hill, or, you're swooping through a roller coaster and literally it just goes right through you and your stomach ends up in your chest. It's an intense feeling, but it happens so quickly. That's divine energy. That's real divine energy. That's beautiful energy. Okay. So to walk around and sit here and claim I am a divine feminine, I am a divine masculine. People are like, well, I've had trauma. I am a divine feminine. I've had trauma like all divine feminines. No, 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 no. You can have trauma and not be a divine feminine. What do you think goes on with karmics? Karmics live in trauma. They live in toxicity, but they're not divine feminines, right? Right. It's what happens to you while you're experiencing the trauma. It's what you experience while you are growing through that trauma. And it's who you become when you exit or escape that trauma. That's what shows you if you're a divine feminine. A lot of people have been raised in alcoholic families, toxic situations, abusive situations, and they're not a divine feminine. They're karmics. And they keep going through the same cycles because they're not paying attention to their karma, their family's karma. They're not owning the shit, even if they're not responsible for it, so they can push through it. They're allowing it to be all for them. Oh, I'm a divine feminine because I went through this and I went through that, and I've learned tarot, and I learned what the United States considers fucking Reiki. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm going to end this because I actually went on the internet and I started scrolling through things and I started reading people, and I was just like, okay, I'm going to bed. I went to bed, falling asleep to a man's voice, who, by the way, I got to visit with last night, which is interesting. And then I woke up knowing and remembering everything as usual that I experienced. And we went through all of the local readers, all of the local Reiki practitioners, and I was so disappointed. And it's like they're making bank off of Reiki, and their clients think they're real because they can feel the heat coming out of their hands. But if you Google the areas of the body that radiate the most heat, they're going to tell you it's the fucking hands. Your hands will naturally radiate heat. So is that Reiki? Or is that just, you know, the anatomy of the body and the way that the body breaks down energy? Right? So when you're going for a Reiki session, it's not just about I feel the heat and I fell asleep. You've got good music on. You've got incense going. You're in that dynamic. You're in that meditative room. You're gonna fall asleep. You're gonna feel heat. Just make sure the practitioner is doing more than just that, right? Your feet falling asleep because you've been in a position for too long does not constitute as Reiki. Feeling physical objects move from the top of your body straight down through your body, that's Reiki. Feeling parts of your insides actually moving, heating up with real heat from the inside, that's Reiki. You know, Reiki comes from Japan. Anybody can learn the technique of Reiki. Anybody can be psychic and tap into the energy. We are all vibrating on the fifth dimension at the lowest dimension on the physical realm. We all have that spiritual communication now. There's nothing special about that anymore. It's the new normal, and people are waking up to that. Don't just say, I'm this, I'm that. Actually be who you say you are, because this liberation energy that's through, it means business. And while I'm not going to discuss what it's going to lead up to, I've seen it, and it's coming, and it's not far out. It's before the next equinox season. People are going to be humiliated. So don't just be something, actually be that something, right? Don't just walk around and say, I'm the high priestess. Learn what it means to be a high priestess and make sure you truly embody it. Because if you don't come cross paths with a physical high priestess, you're going to cross paths with a spiritual high priestess. And they are not forgiven. Let me tell you that. I got to see some good shit. So I'm saying goodbye, 28 minutes in. Enjoy your day.